Welcome back to what's new in Business Center 2021 Release Wave 2. And today we'll be talking about one of the cool feature that I think it's added is about list of trusted apps. Now, this feature is available for Business Central Online customers. And first, let's understand why this feature is important. Now, the customers who are on Business Central Online or have been upgraded to Business Central Online uh, can download apps from App Source and install them on their tenant as they need them. But there are so many apps on the App Source, and there can be situations where a customer may not be the right pick the right app that they should be using for their business requirement, and that's where the trusted app comes into picture. As partners, because partners deal with these apps during different projects and they more or less know about what's best for the customer in terms of different options available for the similar kind of apps. With this feature, this gives a possibility to partner to suggest apps that they trust are best for the customers. So today we'll see a demo how you can do it as a partner and what is in the store for this. So in Business Center 19, if you navigate to extension management, there are of course so many apps, but there will be an app which is called as recommended app. This is an extension that I was building, but this is the Microsoft app called recommended apps. Now, with this separate extension, a partner can add the list of trusted apps that they think are available for the customer, and then it's up to customer to navigate to that page and install those apps. So what comes with this app is a page on the front end called recommended apps, and this will list down all the suggestions from the partner for the apps that they should be using. So now let's go to Visual Studio Code and quickly see what we can do over there. Let me zoom this in. So the recommended app extension that is from Microsoft have a page as we just saw, and then there is behind the scene there's a table which stores that info, and then there is a code unit which allows partner to add the apps into this. So what I have done is I've already created a page extension on the same page called recommended app list, where I've added an action to refresh the recommendation. Now this action executes a code unit called recommended apps. This is a custom code unit and calls a function add apps for customers. Now let's move to that code unit, and before we see that, let me show you what this base Microsoft function allows you to do. So what you can do with this recommended app code unit is there are methods available to delete all the apps which are recommended, not from the extension management, but from the recommended apps page. Or if you want to delete a specific app, then you need to give the keyword for that particular app. You can get an app, you can get an app URL if you need it. You can insert an app into the recommended app with all these parameters. You can refresh the image of an app from the app source, and you can also update an app if you have to change something. We'll be talking about inserting an app. Now let's see what the parameters are. The parameters are a unique keyword for that app, the sorting order in the way the apps will be seen to customer in a particular sequence, the name of the app, who's the publisher of the app, a short description which briefly talks about what that app does, and then a long description if you want to provide additional info about that app. And then there is an enum called recommended by. This enum is part of the base Microsoft recommended app extension, which gives an option to define who recommends this app and then the app source URL for that app. Now, before we move ahead, let's quickly have a look on this enum app recommended by. I've actually extended it, but if you want to go and see, this is an enum part of that extension and it's extensible, so you can add more values to it. The default value or the only value that this enum has is your Microsoft reseller. So what I've done is I've also extended this enum and said that the new option that will be available is that this is recommended by me. So now let's see what's in there. So when the user clicks on that action on the recommended action page, which I have added on the page extension, this code executes, which does these things. It deletes all the existing apps, and it's up to you. Do you want to overwrite what's already there or not? Then it tries to insert these three apps with the app source URL. As you can see, two of these apps are suggested by the Microsoft reseller, which is the partner, and one is recommended by me. And then this is the sequence that I want them to appear, 1, 2, and 3. And these are the details of those apps. Remember, while you are building an extension of it, it need to have a dependency on the base recommended app extension, because the recommended app is not part of the base or the system app. So in your app.json, you'll have to define a dependency on the Microsoft extension to include this in your extension. So let's quickly publish this and we'll see what happens when we click on that action. So now if a user goes and into the recommended app page, and let me zoom this in, and from the action menu, if he clicks on refresh recommendation, he'll be able to see what the partner or the developer is recommending that they can use. As soon as they click on it, it'll show you all the apps or all the three apps which I have added in my extension to be added on this page. Now, these apps are not by default installed on customer tenant. They are just a suggestion from the partner. At the end of the day, it's customer choice to install or not to install these apps. So a user can come to this page, see what the partner is recommending, then click on view menu, and from here he gets a link to the app source, which will navigate him to the app source where he can install the app, which will make that app available on the tenant. So that's a nice cool addition in the product with the list of trusted app. So start utilizing it. There are more possibilities against it. Maybe you want to do a power app to select which apps are recommended based on what type of business your customer does. You might want to use APIs to select the apps which are suggested for different kind of customers that you have. So start exploring it and let me know what you think about this feature that's added in 2021 release wave 2. See you tomorrow with a next cool feature in Business Central.